Welcome back. There is a live look outside at the Oregon coast from our In It Spanish Head Resort Hotel camera in Lincoln City. Thanks for watching Afternoon Live. You've probably heard of emotional intelligence, but our next guest says that creative intelligence is where it's at. Here to explain, we welcome the author of The Creative Leader, What Every Leader Should Know About the Art and Science of Creative Intelligence, Dr. Rob Carpenter. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's such a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
So what are we talking about? What is this concept of creative intelligence?
Yeah, so creative intelligence is a trait that we all have that we can all develop in further supply. And basically it marries hard-fought experience with childlike imagination and asks, what if? It allows us to become more open-minded about people, about the future, and really about our own lives. It basically says there is more than one right way of doing things.
Well, and it sounds like this is something that a lot of people would find beneficial in the workplace, but maybe even in your home life too.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the most applicable area is our home life. So one of the ways that we can actually become much better at engaging with our spouses or with our kids or with our grandparents or just people in our neighborhood is by being curious about them. It's by developing our creative intelligence. So essentially it's by being open-minded in a way that we're not typically used to. And so it really does actually help us connect with other individuals. It also allows us to try new things out. It asks us, what can we say about solving a problem in a way that maybe we haven't done before in the home?
Yeah, it sounds like you'd be able to connect with people with different perspectives. I mean, that could certainly be in your own family, but maybe somebody that you work with or somebody in your personal life that, gosh, how am I going to get through to so-and-so? Maybe asking questions is a good place to start.
Absolutely. So the best conversationalists, according to research, ask the best questions. They ask open-ended questions. They listen and they try to see what the other person is saying. You know, it's interesting because everyone wants to feel seen, heard, and understood. And people with creative intelligence allow that by asking great questions, whether it's in the workplace or at home.
What about storytelling? How could that come into play when using your creative intelligence?
Absolutely. So storytelling is absolutely essential for us as people. It's essential for creative leaders. And so stories allow us to connect emotionally with people, and it allows us to essentially see the world anew. So whether we're telling stories in the form of words, in the in the form of images, or likewise, it allows us to basically connect with people because we can communicate our emotions with them. We can connect our brains to them. There's a thing called mirror neurons that won't get too complicated. But long story short, by allowing us to express ourselves in terms of stories, it allows us to have other people connect with us emotionally. And so we're able to essentially make that a superpower by increasing our own creative ability to tell stories and making other people feel seen in the form of stories. It's kind of a complicated thing, but storytelling is absolutely crucial for it.
Yeah, it all makes sense though when you break it down like that. And it sounds like something that a lot of people might be just innately good at. That's kind of their nature. If you feel like you're not one of those people, can you kind of build those muscles somehow?
Oh, absolutely. So this is sort of a process where if we just practice, we can practice at home, we can practice with friends, we can practice with neighbors just by telling short stories about our lives. And we just kind of mine the data, mine the gold mine that is our own lives and just sharing who we are. So many people today, they feel lonely, they feel unseen, they feel unheard. And so just by communicating who we are, by listening to other people and who they are, that's how we're able to build these skills. We're able to build the skills of telling the stories and also listening to other people's stories.
And what about that kind of childlike thing you mentioned earlier, that optimism and the playfulness? How do you tap into that when maybe sometimes things seem stressful and heavy?
Absolutely. And so one way is just through perspective taking. And so we try to say, what if I looked at this from a different angle? So one of the things they recommend in therapy that applies to creative leadership is basically saying, what if I took a third party lens to what I'm looking at and say, okay, what is the best case scenario about this? And how can I build towards that best case scenario? So optimistic people, they tend to do those sorts of things. Creative leaders, intelligent people tend to do this. And so it makes us more optimistic. Optimistic people are the ones that see the future. They have higher immune system responses, and they tend to be the people that are most inspirational to folks. And
That's
so we
so
can tap
cool.
into that.
Can you check yourself sometimes when you're maybe having some, you're dealing with a difficult situation and go, wait a minute, let me take a step back and ask a couple of questions and take a different perspective like you just mentioned?
Yeah, absolutely. And we can do that just, for example, by doing it in our minds. We can write it out. One key thing that we can do is through gratitude, exercises, for example, late at night or in the morning, we can say, I'm grateful for this. And once we are able to calm our emotions, calm the neurochemicals, the cortisol in our brains, we are then able to ask those questions.
That's a
We're able to
great
think a
place
little
to
bit more
start.
clearly.
Yeah, just keep it simple. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. It was great chatting with you.
Likewise, thanks so much.
Okay, we'll have more information on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Thanks so much.